Speaking of blind spots, pretty much everybody on the planet is in love with Drake Maye, is in love with the Patriots. They're trending toward Lord only knows what this season with a challenge on the horizon. You, though, seem to have a little hesitancy. Are you not all in on Drake Maye and the Patriots offense like this is circa 2001 Tom Brady?
You're such a jerk. I'm all in on Drake Maye. I mean, I think the way he's played for the majority of this season has been outstanding. The last 3-4 weeks, whatever, have been completely off the charts, as good as anybody in the league is playing. You can't deny that. My reservation with the whole thing, and it's always like it's not their fault, but they're not going to play anybody. I mean, they have Aaron Schatz listed as going forward. It's the easiest schedule since 1978. And he may go back further than that, but for now it's 1978. So you can only do what you can do. They're knocking down the teams that are in front of them. This is, appears to be a little bit ahead of schedule. But I'll have that little thing, that little asterisk in the back of my mind saying okay, but what happens when you play somebody or I don't know. That's just how my brain works.
It's called negativity.
Come on.
Oh my God! I'm
being objective.
No, Mike, Andy would know if anything. It's okay. But don't you think
you got it?
Don't you think? Hey, Mike, don't you think Sunday though, as far as Drake mania running wild all over the national media, local media, Pats Nation, and all? Don't you think going up against a defense that has such great linebackers, a really good secondary, and I think inarguably the most ferocious defensive line in football represents a great chance for Drake Maye to be like, hey, look, it wasn't just me taking advantage of Tennessee and the Saints. I'm really good, period, end of story.
Yeah, assuming that their offense, the Cleveland offense, which is pretty wretched, isn't complicit in giving you the ball on the 30-yard line, the plus 30, things like that. But yeah, this I think is for the offense. This has been the best test they've had. This team is ferocious up front. They're really fast. I did find it interesting that they were pointing out sort of how fast the linebackers are and how furious the safeties come up and run support and things to get involved. And I wonder in my head, as I start to hear that, I'm like, do we think we're going to get a little play action and try to throw over the top?
Yeah.
Try to get a little misdirection and hit these guys down the field that way? Because I think the approach, right, is that you're thinking, well, they force you to get rid of the ball quicker than any team in the league. But I don't know, maybe our quarterback with his athleticism can hang on to it for a beat longer, and then we can get those big plays that they've been, chewing up the last month or so.
All right, Mike, I want to go to the other side of the ball, and I don't know how to exactly what I want to ask, but I just want your thoughts on the defense. What do you think about the defense overall? And then one of the things I just kind of want to highlight before you answer is, the Patriots pass rush. I've kind of been down on it the last few weeks. They ranked 28th in pressure rate. With just rushing 4. It's just kind of been, to me, an underwhelming pass rush when you consider all the money they've put into that defensive front. Just what are your overall thoughts on this defense? How would you describe it? And what do you think of the pass rush?
Yeah, Mike is sort of, I think he did on the Greg Hill show on Monday morning, really pushing the buttons about we need more from some of the interior guys are playing well, but we need more pass rush. We need a little bit more there, create some more havoc. And I think that's fair. Considering,
hey, Mike, can you step?
Yep. We got to put you on hold, Mike.
2 steps to your left, Mike. Maybe I put him on hold. Clear that up a little bit.
Maybe call back, Mike. But I want to hear his answer because,
should I give him another shot?
They had 5 sacks in the game last. You want to go ahead? So go ahead. But they had 5 sacks in the game last week. But it's.
All right, I don't know how to do it.
It's just the overall pressure is just not as impactful as you would think it would be. So it's just something to me that I worry. I mean, they look at the teams they've been playing. Not great offenses. So and the fact that they're ranked as low as they are in pressure rate versus the offense they've been playing, it has me worried. That's
Mike, you're in a better spot.
I think.
Yep.
Okay, you sound
How
good.
do I sound?
You sound better.
All right, well, I'm not. Once again,
You son of a bitch.
Did I go already?
Okay, no, stay right there. Don't move. Literally just talk.
Go.
This is ridiculous that my house has become a dead zone. Anyway, Ted, I was going to say he wants more from the interior defensive line, but I think you're right to say that there needs to be more from the group as a whole to impact quarterbacks with the amount of money that they've invested in that group up front. And I will say that the slow starts is weird. Like, they know it. They've talked about it. They talk about the scripting and not being able to handle the script. And you figure, like, this coaching staff should be able to, and this group of players should be able to. But now we're 7 weeks in, and the numbers are crazy. I think it was Evan Lazar put it in his post-game column on Monday about the success rate, explosive play rate, like all of it is terrible in the first 3 drives, and then it completely reverses course the rest of the game, which, like good coaching, I guess, to eventually adjust, but like, why can't you get to the point where that's not happening to begin with?
I have no answer for that, Mike.
I don't think they do either, or they would answer it.
I don't. It's not like the Titans have the kind of 15-play script like the 49ers did for
Bill Walsh.
Right. So it's a hard one for me to figure out as well.
So, Mike, when you look at the evolution of Drake Maye, one of the questions that came up this week, and I thought it was a good question, and I was interested that he acknowledged that giving up on plays goes against his instincts as a playmaker, as a young quarterback. And we talked to Josh about it about an hour ago, and he's like, you can't ask him to not make plays with his legs because he's making plays with his legs that are helping us. He's just got to make good decisions. Where do you think that evolution goes, and how long does it take? Is it an injury? Is it missed time? Is it this week where there's a scarier defense on the other side of the ball? How quickly do you think there's a maturing in terms of smartly giving up on plays?
So I wrote about this today in Boston Sports Journal about the idea that, but we're all talking about, like, slide, get out of bounds, throw it away, live to play another day. He's 23 years old, and he thinks he's invincible.
Right.
And the trying to find that balance between, like, I can shrug off this defender, I can outrace this one guy, like, I just got to beat this one guy, and I'm going to get the first down, or I'm going to make a big play here, is hard for him to compute in his brain. And I don't know what's going to trigger the eventual, like, I can't do this all the time anymore. Like, I'm sure it's been focused on so much this week that maybe we don't see much of that on Sunday. Like, just, but then is he being his natural self? Because I think we saw in week 1, it had been beaten to his head so much about protecting himself that he was a little robotic in that game. And that's not how you want him to play either. So I think it's just going to be the more games he plays, the more he experiences. Maybe, again, some of it is the more nicks and bruises you take and be like, man, he even talked about, like, I get out of bed on Monday and I feel like, I feel like an offensive lineman. That's not how you want to feel as a quarterback.
So if the Patriots are going to have some success with the Browns defense, and I'm sure the Browns are going to be trying to take advantage of that left side of the line, Mike, and some misdirections and, as Ted would say, feast on the Patriots. Who's going to have to come up, aside from just anybody, but who's going to have to come up big? Are we looking for someone to get open deep and sneak one by them? Or are we looking, is this a big Steph Diggs day, or is it somebody that we're not thinking of?
I like the short stuff for this game, and then you can eventually, as I said, maybe you can hit him over the top of the play action stuff. And I think Diggs has been so automatic in that role. Now, they play a little bit more man, but I still feel good about his ability to go against man. And then here's maybe where it's a pop game, or more of a pop game than it's been, because as we've seen, the field's not awesome, so he's not awesome against zone, but generally has been better against man. If they're going to play a lot of man, maybe Pop wins quickly and you get him the ball quickly, and then we see some of that yards after catch stuff that he is good at despite, being 180 pounds.
Okay, Mike, I'm going to take a right turn. I'm just curious your thoughts on the scandals, the betting scandal that's going on in the NBA. So Andy's going to ask you about the Browns, but I just want to get my last question in about just your overall thoughts on what's going on with Chauncey and all this stuff you're hearing about Terry Rozier. Your thoughts on the betting scandal?
I think when you make as much money as some of these guys do, this is sort of like just, I don't know, you're constantly chasing a high, right? And this is a high stakes competitive thing we're talking about. We're not talking drugs. We're talking like competition. And it's like the Jordan thing. I mean, how many people have talked about Jordan, when he played, and even now post playing, like how addicted he is to gambling. Like, he says he's not addicted, but like he gambles a ton because he likes that feel. Antoine Walker, who basically went bankrupt, right, talked about playing, whatever, some poker games or whatever with Jordan and trying to like go card for card with him. Now, Jordan's worth $1 billion and you're worth $100 million, but when the stakes get that high and your ego gets into it and all of a sudden you're laying down more money than you can afford, and then the next thing you know, you're like, I just lost $2 million at the table. Like, they operate, I lose $10 and I'm like, oh, for Christ, they lose $1 million. And then that maybe that actually triggers something in their brain. So I just think part of it is just the wiring, I think, of those competitive athletes.
I think there's some truth to that. And I'll tell you what, Jordan, because he made so much more money than Antoine, didn't blink twice about taking his money.
Right.
I guarantee he was like, yeah, give me your give me that
no,
money.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, when I lose money to Bledsoe in those long, West Coast, and I'd like, he'd just sweep the whole, the pot. He'd be like, you got a lot more money than me. He didn't care.
It's like when you win the 50-50 raffle and you're supposed to donate it back to the charity. He kept it.
That's it. Same thing, man.
All right. In light of that, I feel like I should say Patriots are a 7-point favorite at Gillette Stadium on Sunday against the Browns. Is that a smart bet, Mike Giardi?
Well, I mean, if you're taking my gambling advice, then you're not that smart. But I would say yes. I just don't think that. I don't think Cleveland's going to score. Like, I think Cleveland's going to be in the 13, 16-point range, and I think your offense is it's clicking at such a rate right now, and your quarterback's playing so well that eventually that's going to be a 7, 8, whatever point win.
Oh, Andy, we should also, Mike, if you have a quick second, everybody that's been kind enough to jump on the show this week has given us their top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Good idea.
Right now, we've got Currens, we've got Schefters, we've got, Hoyers. You want to join the club?
Sure. I'm afraid I'm going to forget somebody. I think Mahomes is playing awesome right now. I think Dak's playing awesome right now. I think Drake's playing awesome right now. Is anybody else playing that great? Herbert.
Daniel Jones.
Herbert comes in. Yeah, I can't put him in the top
Me
5.
either.
I can't do it. I mean, he's probably been a top 5 quarterback this year, but I can't do it.
Stafford, Goff,
Baker. Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah, Stafford's playing well. A lot of Baker's numbers aren't great. They're winning a lot of games, and he's been clutch in big moments. So maybe I'd put him 5th, Stafford 4th. Okay. I think that's a fair number right now, fair order.
The good news is everybody's putting Drake Maye in there, and he's not I think I'll put him 5th. Almost everybody's putting him 2nd, 3rd, early on in the lineup, and that's a fun place to be for Boston sports fans, Patriots sports fans. All right, Mike, enjoy the weekend,
Thanks, Mike.
and we'll talk to you next week.